Hello everyone. This short lecture will help you to differentiate a chemical change from physical change. In physical change, the material involved in the change is structurally the same before and after the change. Also, physical change are reversible process. For example, if I take an ice cube that I melt into water, so even when it was an ice cube, it's still water. And now I melt it into water. And when I take the water, I can freeze the water back into ice cube. So it's still water. Two case. But now, the fact that I can melt the ice cube into water and then froze the water back into ice cube show that the process can be reversed. So it is a physical change. On the other hand, when we consider a chemical change, they are not reversible. So in chemical change, the composition or when the matter change, the property of the matter completely change. So when chemical change happen, the end products are completely different from the matter that have been changed into that final product. For example, a piece of wood that you burn completely into ashes cannot be reversible. You cannot take the ashes and change the ashes into the piece of wood. So it's completely two products different when you look at their structure here, which is solid, that change completely into ashes. That's an example of chemical change. Keep in mind that physical change are reversible, but chemical change are not reversible. Now, sometimes it is difficult to tell if a change is a physical change or a chemical change. I'm gonna give you one example. When you take a table salt, NaCl, sodium chloride, that you dissolve into water. As you drop the salt into water, you will notice that it disappears into that water. We are at the stage where there is no saturation yet. We are not talking about that saturation stage. When you dissolve salt into water, it will completely dissociate. It will completely dissolve 100%. You will not see any grain of salt into that water. So if I ask you at this stage, if that process is a chemical change or a physical change, you might be tempted to tell me that it's a chemical change, but it is not. Let me tell you why it's not a chemical change. It is not a chemical change because when that water evaporates, you will see that the salt will reappear. So this makes the process reversible. So dissolving salt into water is a process that can be reversed. It is a physical change, not a chemical change. Now, this is another example also. We all know that alloy can be formed when you mold different metal. It can be two metal, three, you melt them together. you form what we call an alloy. Okay, an example of alloy is brass. The property of an alloy is completely different from the property of the metal that combine together to form it. Okay, so when you take a brass is a combination of copper, 60% of copper and 40% of zinc. So when you take a brass, the property of brass is completely different from the property of copper and zinc. This will get you to be tempted to say that the change that happened when you combine copper and zinc is a chemical change, but it is not a chemical change. Even though copper and zinc combine together to form brass, they are not chemically bound. They're still there inside the mixture. That mixture is called brass. So it is not a chemical change. It's still a physical change. To conclude this short lecture, I have a quiz I want you to take. Question 1 of the quiz is burning a piece of wood into ashes, a chemical change or a physical change? That's question 1. Question number 2, dissolving sugar into water. It is a chemical change or a physical change. Question number 3, dissolving the salt into water. It is a chemical change or a physical change. Question number 4, melting a cube of ice. It is a physical change or a chemical change. Thank you for your attention.